I'm Joyce Wong. I finished my master's in human dimensions of organizations at UT last December. So it was a little bit more than 5 months. And my current job or title is grant manager at Porticus, which is an international family foundation. We sponsor development work in different developing countries. I think a lot of graduate students have been doing a lot of research or have done a lot of research. So I think that the skills that I learned at UT really helps me to do my work. And thinking about my job, there are a lot of things I could learn and do research on. So sometimes after mapping some of the challenges or some of the gaps that we could feel, I will have to tell myself, okay, so Joyce, maybe we will focus on this scope for now so that, it wouldn't be too broad. So I think it requires some decision making in a way, like, when to limit the scope and when to just explore different options. I think that's very important to make the decision. But I think that decision could be done through talking to different colleagues or stakeholders or partners, which could help us to, clear our thoughts and be more focused at one point. And I think the other skills is very important is to ask good questions. So we get a lot of funding requests from different partners and from different government partners as well. And we have to ask good questions like, why should we invest at this time or with these specific partners? And even through reading the reports, we have to ask questions to better understand the work so that we are indeed choosing a good partners, especially during the time when we cannot go and see them and to see their projects and to meet the beneficiaries. So I think asking good question is a really important skill. I think for me, I joined a lot of career sections organized by UT. So from the beginning, how to prepare your resume, especially when you're applying for jobs in different cultural contexts. So maybe the resume in the States may look different from the resume from other countries. So sometimes knowing what you have to prepare is important at the first stage. So I think joining those sections were very useful to me. And networking is a very important part, not only for job searching or finding a job, but even right now, I'm using the skills to network with people or potential partners that I want to learn more about the local context. And for example, I will work really closely with partners in Vietnam, but I'm not familiar with the context. And so I was like, okay, UT has a good network, alumni network. So I would like to reach out to alumni in Vietnam to see whether they might be working in the field that I'm interested to learn about. So I think these networking skills could expand even beyond job hunting. And I'm really glad that I started to use that in the job hunting process and now expanded to my current work. I also use Big Interview as one of my practice tools for the virtual interview because it's quite different when you can see or do interview in person, but I think it's really hard these days. So I think virtual interview would be something that we all have to prepare for. And so Big Interview was one of the tools I used. And, see yourself answering question and just, I think it was very useful to me. I think even a lot of career platform or mock interview, very useful with UT staff as well. And they really helped me to think about how could I better prepare myself during the interviews. So that would be my tips. last August on, I was trying to join different events. For example, I was very interested in those topic. For example, diversity and inclusion. DEI has been a big topic these days, and I've been joining different online sections because everything has been online, and I joined different online sections. And if I'm interested in those organization or those speakers, I will just reach out to them on LinkedIn. I was like, oh, your session was very insightful to me, and is it possible for us to have like a 20 minutes chat? I think by identifying some of the events that you could join to further your knowledge in the field and to know different key opinion leaders would be very useful as well. I just thought of one thing, which is I think I am very confident that a lot of UT students will be well prepared in terms of knowledge and skills in a new job. Students at UT are very proactive, high capacity in doing research. And one thing that I felt like I could better prepare myself for a job would be just updating on, for example, the culture. For example, if I'm an international student trying to find a job in the United States, so often it's not about my skills or my ability at the job, but whether I could connect with the colleagues in terms of hobbies or movies or something on Netflix. I think it's culturally sometimes you have to be able to start a small talk with your colleagues and to get to know them so that they can connect with you through those topics. So I think to me personally, that was my struggle because I am an international student, not very familiar with a lot of culture or pop culture in the United States. So in that sense, for students, you might also, get to know that part more while you are studying at UT. So for me, it's interesting. I am back to Hong Kong, my hometown, to do the job. But I used to work in mainland China, which is a different culture as well. So when I got back to Hong Kong, my colleagues felt like I'm an alien because I can speak the language, but I don't know anything about the current situation or TV series or pop culture. And I was like, how can you not know this person? I was like, I just don't know. So even as a local Hong Konger, I still have lack of knowledge of the pop culture, and is not easy for me to connect with my colleagues through those conversations. So it's like, Joyce, you have to watch TV or be more updated on this kind of thing so that I could be connected with my colleagues. I think something we overlook these kind of small things, but I think these small things are very important to connect to other human beings at work.